Aloha! Dr. George Cromack, renewyourself.net. And we're going to be doing part 2 today of the fasting pack, fasting protocol that is done at the E3Live. I direct the fasting detoxes there and am the medical assistant for Dr. Gabriel Cousins. The second part of the pack that we haven't gone over, there is a ultra probiotic formula. This is not used until after the fast is broken, and that's to help reestablish the beneficial bacteria positive flora in the GI tract there. And I personally like Synthol, which I'll be adding to my site in a couple of weeks. And Synthol is encapsulated in a way where it doesn't open with your stomach enzymes and acids, and opens actually in the intestine with a prebiotic. And I found that to be the most effective probiotic I've ever used in 40 years. And that is a good thing to do after a fast, as well as periodically, especially if you've had any kind of antibiotic usage or you have a candida type infection. Triphala in a powder. My personal recommendation is, if you're getting Triphala, you get it from me and you get it in a capsule, because Triphala, really not the best tasting stuff in the world. Gnarly. Yeah, so the capsules work great. There's a whole section in my book, Renew Yourself, Keys to Rejuvenation and Youthing, on Triphala. Triphala is considered a resayana, or a rejuvenant. It is balancing towards all body types, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and it can be used long term. Triphala is tonic. It helps to clean the plaque off the cardiovascular system as well as the intestinal tract, can lower cholesterol, and helps your body gently detoxify. It's not habit forming. Gets that plaque off the colon a lot smoother and gentler off our longer period of time than, let's say, doing a aggressive colon cleanse, which for some people can be imbalancing and upsetting, although it does have its place. Triphala should be taken when you're breaking the fast, after the first meal and every evening, about an hour before bedtime. I would recommend 3 to 4 capsules, 3 to 4 capsules, and that's going to help you just, move the food that you ate through the digestive tract. During that time that you start eating, you're going to do the Dr. Howell's enzymes with the food, and that's going to help get everything moving there. There are Patrick Flanagan's Crystal Energy Drops. I like them. You add that to the water, to your teas. Excuse me. I find they are kind of hydrating, so they make the water, what we would say, wetter. And what I recommend, as I've talked about in the past, is for most people, distilled water that is restructured with the Crystal Energy. My feelings being that spring water and bottled water, non-distilled water, can contribute to a buildup of inorganic minerals, which can cause stiffening and arthrosclerosis. Peter Ragnar, Dr. Walker, Dr. Cousins, myself, we all use distilled water. Take it for what it's worth. During the fast, we recommend that you have some pH enzyme papers, and what you're going to do is take your urine in a urine cup sample holder there, and midstream, first thing in the morning, and then you want to take a piece of pH paper and dip it in there, and then inside there is a color chart that you match with the litmus paper to get your pH. And basically that just is a barometer of how much acid and detox is going on in your system. The urine should be kind of alkaline in the morning, somewhere between 6.6 and 7.0, 7.2. What happens is, when you're fasting, You can become acidic as you go through waves of detox. And this just helps us, or like when it starts getting down to 6.0, 5.8, 5.6, you got a lot of acid coming out. And that's why, we recommend some greens, green juice, or I, in particular, for most people, recommend juice feasting with a lot of E3Live, because it's got 4 times the chlorophyll of wheatgrass juice, and it's going to help provide the alkaline minerals to buffer some of those acids that are coming out of your system. Sesame oil is to lubricate the end of your enema speculum when you're taking an enema, and we'll go over that at another time if you're not familiar with it. I think you should have a bottle of sesame oil around, and if you're fasting every other day, you should do a sesame oil basti or implant after you've emptied and flushed your colon with the enema bag. I do recommend that you do during the fast, and at least once a week, an Abhyanga sesame oil massage on your body and scalp and feet, and nausea by laying on your back, arching your head back into a fish type pose, and putting a couple of drops of sesame oil on each finger and putting that in your nose and snorting it back. There are Gemstone Elixirs and Tachyon Elixir. These are like Bach flower remedy type things to help balance the emotional body during the fast, and you can put 15 drops on your tongue 4 times a day when you're doing your juice. And then there's the Tachyon fasting elixir drops, which are kind of also balancing more of the subtle body, and you can do 15 drops 4 times a day of that, along with 15 drops of the NCD if you want to go down that road, to pull out the heavy metals and toxins, pesticides and herbicides. When you're fasting, well, we'll get more into that itself and the different avenues and stories related around fasting and cleansing crises and detoxing and longer fast and shorter fast and all that. That's Dr. George Cromack today with your health tip from E3Live, Arizona, and aloha.